Well, I have a lot of people asking me this here lately, especially new lead custodians that have gotten lead jobs. How do you deal with those lazy co-workers and deal with people that's not motivated? First of all, I just want to tell you I'm sorry for the bouncy camera stuff. I'm just taking a little exercise walk today, so I may be breathing hard and I may get sweaty before this is over with. And there may be some shade, there may be some sun, but here we go. I guess the first thing that I would suggest as advice with my experience of when I was leading summer crews for several years was this, is you got to let your people know what your expectations are. And you got to make those expectations clear and what you want them to do. Your expectations of cleaning may not be the same thing that their expectations of cleaning is. Because here's the thing, don't ever take for granted that somebody knows what you're thinking and what your expectations are. You've got to make that clear. The other thing is this, that I learned the hard way, is you got to figure out what is important in the job and what your supervisors or their expectations are. And you need to make that clear with them. You'll know what expectations to pass on to your custodial staff. You need to be willing to know what you're willing to let go. You can't be OCD about everything. So you have to learn to let people be people. I guess what I'm saying is this, is you've got to be willing to say, is this worth getting upset about? Is this worth addressing? Is it really that big a deal? Now, as far as building motivation and people being motivated, that is something that they have to do for themselves. It's something that you're not going to make anybody do. I don't care how hard you try. You're not going to make anybody do anything that they don't want to do. Now, you can try to build that atmosphere of where people want to be motivated, that makes them take pride in their job, that causes them to want to. But if you got somebody that's been doing things a certain way for a long time and they've got by with it, they're probably not going to want to change. And that can be very frustrating to no end, to no degree, especially if you're a motivated person and you like to get things done and you like to do things a certain way and you want things to be up to high standards. Now, I'm not saying that anybody should get by with not doing their job and not doing what they're supposed to do. And I guess a lot of it has to do with what kind of authority you have as a lead custodian. Sometimes as a lead custodian, all you are is to facilitate, make schedule, things are getting done. But if you don't have the authority to take action in people, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do. And here's the reality right here. If you have in your mind, well, I'm just going to change these people. I can change them. I can change them. You're probably going to be very highly disappointed. You're not going to change anybody. I just got clipped on the wrist by a bicycle that went by. Ow. Anyway, getting hurt. Anyway, as far as changing people, you say, well, what do I do, Mr. Jeff, if I can't change anybody? What am I going to do in the position that I'm in? I mean, I'm a leadman. I've got responsibilities. The pressure's coming down on me. Well, the best thing you can do is live by example. Don't ask anybody to do anything that you're not willing to do yourself. They need to see you doing the job, first of all. And cross your fingers and hope that they respect you enough as a person that they want to do you a good job and do a good job for the system that they work in. Because for me, respect goes a long ways. And respect is earned. It's not given out. Sorry. And one last question I was asked just today was this. A lead custodian asked me this question, is that I don't have the skill set to do some of the things that we require because we don't have a very big maintenance crew that gets to come around very often. So my skill set's not able to do a lot of things that needs to be done in the school that teachers ask me to do. Well, the only thing I can tell you about this is, well, actually I'm gonna tell you two things. First of all, YouTube is your best friend about learning things. There's some goof nut like me out there that's made a video on something, somewhere, somehow, on how to do something. The second thing is this. Be able to respect yourself enough and not have so much pride that you can't say, hey, I don't know how to do that. I'm not qualified to do that. So I'm gonna have to do some research, or you're just gonna have to wait on maintenance. That's okay. You're not a failure just because you don't know how to do anything. That doesn't identify you as a person. Because the person that asked me that question was this. They said, it's just some of the older custodians that know how to do certain things. They don't seem to want to share their information with me. Well, let me tell you something. People are people, and some people want you to fail, and they don't want you to succeed. But you don't let that stop you in what you're doing. Don't let their jealousy get inside you and destroy you. You hold your head up high, and you get out there and learn, and you be the better person. What's my final takeaway from all of this? Control what you can control. And what you can't control, let the rest of it go. Because if you try to control things that you can't control, and you try to be in control of everything, it will eat you alive inside, and you're gonna hate getting up in the morning, and you're gonna hate your job. I promise you, I've been there. Done that, bought the t-shirt, not no fun. Man, is that not a beautiful view behind me that God has created? Absolutely. Enjoying the day at the lake, walking on my day off. Have a great day. I'm sweating in places I forgot I had.